Wagwan me people, quick thing before we kick off. The views where you hear upon the Father to Father podcast, them strictly for why, the hosts, guests and contributors. Them now represent Catholic Notebook, Spirit Stream Studios, the Diocese, University, or any affiliated groups. You see me? And remember, this podcast are strictly for adult ears, so listen up with discretion.
Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet. A place for the soul, where wisdom speaks. Hope in the message, strength in the beat. Welcome to Father, where life and faith meet.
What's going on, man?
What's cracking?
Yeah, it's been a week, man. It's been a week. It's been a while since we've been in the studio.
Actually has this time.
I know. It's been a good minute.
It's been more than 7 days.
I mean, it's one of those things, man. Like, now we're busy. It's getting to the summer months. It is what it is now.
Finally. It's going to be good.
But you know what? Welcome to the Father Podcast. My name is Dr. Giovanni. With me is my right hand, my main man,
Father Greg.
Hey! And if you're listening right now, you're doing one half of what you need to do. So, open up a new browser. Or, just press your middle home button and then go back to the app that you were on and then say, okay, cool, let me flip over and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see how I stopped at 5? I didn't stop before 5. Yeah. It's hooked on phonics, right? It's counting. Remember when we were watching Sesame Street?
So aggressive.
Remember when we were watching Sesame Street, Father Greg? Remember that?
Actually, I never watched Sesame Street.
You never watched Sesame Street?
I was a Sesame Street kid.
How? Do you know the count from Sesame Street?
Oh, I think you're asking me if I know how to count. Yeah. I was like, bruh.
Well, do you know how to count?
Yes. He sounded just like the owl from the Tootsie Roll commercial talking about 1, 2, 3.
No, but for real, like the from the count from Sesame Street.
Yeah.
He'd just come on and he'd be like, today's number is 5. Every day the number is 5. That is 5 stars. Because I don't know anything less than that. Because we're excellent. Who you gonna compare us to? Don't compare us to Father Mike Schmidt. That's not fair.
That's not fair.
That's not fair.
Love you, Smitty.
Yeah, he is the ideal. Like, we are not the ideal. We're the standard. I can say that.
That's fair.
Put us up against anybody else, we'll take him out.
We will be better than C+.
Every day, all day. We're not Father Mike Schmidt. Don't do that to us. But if you rock with us the long way, the hard way, hey, CatholicNetwork.org/
F2F.
and you could put, drop us a note, put a little change in our jar, $2, $5,
$8, $13.
Yeah, whatever you feel like it. It helps us keep the lights on, and it lets Spirit Stream Studios knows that you rock with us. All right, you ready to get started?
Always.
All right.
Hey, tell me, baby, what's the word on the street? Is it love or is it lies beneath our feet? I'm holding on.
Yes, today I messed up, but it's for priest. It's like, yeah, today I messed up. Alrighty. Today I messed up by saying, let's get this bread during the Eucharist.
No. No.
I was ordained 5 years ago. And generally, I'm generally known as the youth priest in our diocese. Sneakers, memes, and homilies, and guitar adoration, the whole thing. On this past Sunday, we had a special youth mass, big turnout. The teens were fired up. Music was solid. Vibes were good. During the consecration, everything was moving smoothly. I was in the zone, and I got to the elevation of the host. And instead of the solemn "Behold the Lamb of God," "Behold you is the world," my brain went to autopilot and said, "Let's get this bread."
No, it's 10 times worse than I thought it'd be. It's 10 times worse than I thought. I thought we were just talking about, he said it in a homily, or he said it when he was trying to read from the missal on accident, and he just nope, can't say that, sir.
Let's get this bread. I said it out loud. The altar server said, "God bless him." Made the noise happen.
It's in the missal. Like, sir.
Made a noise halfway between a cough and a laugh and a snort. I nearly dropped the patent. I locked eyes with the music director, who froze up.
That's an appropriate response.
I panicked and pretended it was a deep theological metaphor.
It's in the missile,
and
though.
transitioned and continued mass. It was Thursday, and I was still getting memes in the parish group chat. Someone taped a loaf of Wonder Bread to my office door.
That's his bullying. You a bully at this point.
The bishop texted me, "At least everyone got fed." Laughing emojis.
You got a cool
Crying,
bishop. I'll let you
crying
know right now.
emojis.
You got a cool bishop because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them that would not take that to be funny at all. I'm still laughing. But still,
That's a dope bishop. I don't know where he's from, but that's a dope bishop. He's like, yo, at least everybody got fed.
exactly.
So don't worry about it, man. It happens. All right. Today I messed up, blessing a dog instead, thinking it was a baby. I've been a priest for about 12 years. I'd like to think I had a pretty good pastoral instincts normally. Last Saturday, we were prepping for baptisms, full class of young parents, babies everywhere, lots of blankets, strollers outside of the meeting room. I was making rounds, meeting people, being warm, regular priest stuff. I saw a stroller covered with a soft blue blanket parked just outside the door. I leaned over and I pulled it back a little, and I saw what I thought was a sleeping baby. I smiled gently and I reached down and said, "Oh, what a precious little one. May God bless you and keep you always." And then that's when I noticed the fur. And then the underbite and the very not human snort. It was a bulldog.
Oh,
In a bonnet and a onesie that said "Mommy's little angel."
oh my goodness.
The dog licked my hand mid-blessing. I froze. And the owner said, "Oh, you met Winston. He's shy with new people." I nodded like, yeah, I didn't invoke a divine blessing on your dog.
I mean, there's pet blessings. It's
Right.
fine.
It's like word got around by Monday, and the DRE keeps calling me St. Winston of the stroller, and the teens made me stickers, and I've been asked if I now offer pet sacraments.
Nope, I just bless ugly kids.
I'm talking to you, Janet. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. Listen, here's another one. Today I messed up. You don't like this one. Today I messed up by quoting Beyonce during a funeral.
During the funeral?
Funeral homily.
Oh, man.
I love my parish. I was trying to meet people where they were at, especially when they were grieving.
Sir.
Which brings us to last Friday. It was a woman in her early 40s, young, vibrant, loved Beyonce, according to her family. I wanted to honor that in the homily and tie in the spirit into something meaningful and uplifting. So I was standing there, church was back in the front. The parents and family were in the front prios. Everyone, high emotion. My bishop sitting next to me, sitting behind me. Sorry, my bishop sitting behind me. I stood up there in the midst of the homily and I said, as Queen Beyonce says, "You won't break my soul." The widow nodded, actually put her hand to her heart, and a few people murmured, "Amen." For a second, I thought I killed it.
But
And that was until I sat down and I felt a shift. Our bishop hasn't spoken to me since then. After the mass, he pulled me aside and said, "Perhaps next time we stick to scripture."
ooh,
The funeral coordinator hasn't booked me. I think I've been blacklisted.
that's rough. That's rough, buddy, because you probably only have a couple funeral directors in the city
Yeah.
or in the town.
And they said, "Nah, fam."
Like, yeah, the bishop said no. The bishop said no?
The bishop was like, "Not today." He's quoting Beyonce, "Nah." Oh, have you had a moment as a priest where you're just like, "Yo, today I messed up bad," that you're willing to share?
I don't think I've messed up bad.
Oh, okay.
Like, well, no, that's true. That's not true.
Something that you're willing to share. Not too crazy. Not too crazy. Like, oh, I was gonna put like the gluten-free host in the thing, but I really
Yo, that might be a crime if like, you cop to that and that person died of celiac.
no. Like you caught it. And you're like, oh, that would have been a disaster.
This is going to sound super egotistical. I haven't messed up really badly in a way that I'm willing to share, but
Yeah.
a lot of times what ends up happening is other people mess up badly, and I just gotta swallow it. Because if I react with my intrusive thought and say the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm like, really? This is what came to your mind? Like, I can't. That's not okay.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like,
I mean, that's fair though.
No, for sure.
That's fair though. Because like as an associate, like you're associate pastor, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like you're working, you're running all over the place, and like half the time, someone else is doing something on your schedule.
Yeah.
So like, if they double book you and they didn't tell you, like you got to deal with it.
We had a couple conversations about that. Like, for example, we had pictures for First Communion. First Communion is happening this weekend. Everything's going on. And I got all the kids, and there's 3 of us all together, the deacon, the pastor, and me. And somehow I ended up in the middle. It looks like it's crazy. It looks like I own everything. I'm not running anything. I'm just here. Everyone's got their job. Everyone's got exactly what they're supposed to be doing. I'm just doing my job. And so we're all sitting there, now smile. Everyone's smiling. And we're taking a cheese or this, that, and third. And little kid, he's right below me. He looks up at me. He's like, "So can I go home now?" I'm like, "Kid, I'm not your dad." Like, and so I look at him like, honestly, that's a good question. I'm trying to go home too. He's like, "Really? Cool." And he gives me a fist bump.
He's just like,
It's
yeah.
just little things like, yeah, I'm just trying to go home, bro.
He's like, yeah, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yo,
My day was crazy.
hey, that's a segment. That's the day I messed up.
Tell me, baby, what's the word on the street? Is it love or is it lies beneath our feet? I'm holding on, but the world feels incomplete.
Okay, Father God, listen. I don't want to talk no more. I'm done. I'm going to take a break. Talk to me. Talk to me about reducing frustration and cultivating a sense of calm. And so here's the question that came to us. How do you actually build patience in your prayer life?
Oh.
And that's ultimately the question. The context behind it, this person has a lot of frustration when trying to sit and pray and think about things slowly. Usually mind goes everywhere and they just get frustrated and just start doing other stuff. Yeah. So they're wondering, how do I build that patience? How do I start? What do I do? What are some practical, like, do this type of steps that I can just implement in my life and see some real growth?
Cool.
Now uplift me.
I don't know we're gonna say it like that, but okay. Uplift me. Well, if we're trying to cultivate patience in our prayer life, it starts with a couple of different things. The first aspect you want to start with is define exactly what it is that you're looking for. So, for example, Father Greg, I really want to be holy. You want to be holy? Okay, cool. What is holiness to you? That's going to be my first question. Well, holiness is being a lot like my Uncle John. What is it about Uncle John that makes him holy? Well, when I go to Mass, and sometimes I don't want to go to Mass, but when I do go to Mass and we go with our family and Uncle John is there, Uncle John always seems like he is excited for Mass and he always wants to go. And if he can go every day, he probably could. And sometimes he tries to. And then when he receives the Eucharist, the bread thing, and then he takes it and he goes back to his seat and he just looks like he's meditating and he's just so happy. He's so joyful. He's such a great guy. And I just kind of want to be like Uncle John. I kind of want to know what it is that he's so happy and joyful about. Okay, that's a great thing to want. That's a wonderful thing to want. And how we start there, especially within building patience in prayer, because you've seen him be steady and still and prayerful. It's hard to be prayerful and to look prayerful. That all that is to say is that if you really want to build a prayer life or a prayerful state in patience within that, it takes understanding exactly what you're trying to build. Sounds kind of clunky, but here's what this means. It means find a very certain set of steps that you want to follow. You want to be holy. You want to be prayerful. Start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes in prayer where you're silent. Whether God's talking to you or you're talking to God. 5 minutes where there are no distractions. Don't bring your phone if you don't got to. Sit there. The light can be on, the light can be off. Whatever makes you feel the most centered. And pray. What was your day like? God, what do you want to say to me right now? What's something that you're struggling with? What's something you want to achieve? What's something you feel like you failed at? What aren't you telling anybody else on this planet that you want to tell God right now? You'll be surprised what you hear. And it doesn't have to be like a knock over the head where you hear an audible voice that sounds like Morgan Freeman. It can really just be a dialogue of the heart. It can be something that rings true to who you are. Sometimes it's fear. A lot of times there's something that I don't want to talk about, I don't want to address, and I don't want to bring up right now because I'm afraid what God is going to say to me. Start there. God always starts in the most intimate part of who we are. So if you want to build patience, it takes a step forward. You can't build patience and do nothing. Even someone who is stagnant can still be building patience, but that doesn't count as nothing.
That sounds good, man. That was good. That was good. Yeah. You know, maybe they should pay you. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, I hope you are uplifted just as much as I am.
Click that $3 jar.
Oh. You ready for Hear Me Out?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different. All right.
Oh.
So this is a little bit of a regrade. So the capital
Appeal process.
Right. It is a little bit of a appeal process. So it's Hear Me Out, appeal. Boom, boom, boom. They'll have the Campbell and all that stuff. So they listened. A lot of the people who wrote in listened, and then some of them have beef, some of them want to give us more context, and they all wrote in, and the research team compiled them, and they said, hey, regrade this.
That's kind of crazy because, like, dog, I've seen the list.
Yeah.
We have a list of a ton of different scenarios.
Yep.
So that means that these people are listening.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'm talking to you. They're listening week in, week out to be like, is this going to be my moment?
Yeah.
Is this my story?
Yeah, this is my story, is not. And they came back. Some of them came back with a fury. Some of them came back and they were just like, oh. Some of them, it's like, yay. So this is a regrade. This is Hear Me Out regrade. So we're going to go back to a couple of stories. I'll tell you what it is. And again, the rating scale is still the same. 5 stars, you did nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. 1 star, Father Greg has confession on Thursdays. You know, there's going to be a lot of parishes that start having confessions on Thursdays now. It's going to be great.
Someone's going to get upset. They're going to hit this appeal and get a lower rating than they did before.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. If you appealed, you can go down. You can go down. So with them, it also told us whether, like, the research team did a really good job to tell us whether we actually rated them, because there was a couple of them we didn't actually rate.
Oh.
And some of them we did rate. Mm-hmm. And so, like, they told me on the thing, like, did we rate them? Did we not? So the first one comes from episode 3. Dive in it.
Oh.
This one was, but hear me out. Is it bad that I don't want my employee to leave since he's been a positive impact in my life?
Oh my gosh. I feel sorry. Continue.
That's such a strong emotion from a judge.
Because I feel like personally, we have full disclosure, even though we've only really talked about this on one episode, we've had a lot of conversation about this particular this particular one.
Yeah, we have. That's true. We've talked about this particular one. listen, I'm gonna let you know this right now. I don't see a situation where this goes up unless there's something unless there's something completely different. But to remind everybody, this particular hear me out, this was Elise, 39 years old. She was a married woman. She was the owner of a novelty shop. She had a secret she was secretly involved in a 5-year affair with Marcus, a strikingly handsome younger man who she hired at 18 when what became during a snowstorm passion of the moment evolved into a long addictive relationship. I gotta say though, I really gotta say, the research team did a great job, like just capturing everything. It's like, oh,
I don't know if that was a research thing. I really think she put a lot of description on this man.
yeah,
Also-
she really did. And it's just like, but it makes it easy for them to just go like, okay, and capture.
Also, if we're going to be perfectly fair, because, we're equality, right?
Yeah.
Equal rights, equal fights. If we were to flip the gender roles of the situation, it's grooming.
Listen.
just saying.
Listen,
I'm a whole priest. If I did a quarter of that, my guy.
listen. Listen, we don't flip. We just keep them the same. No, I hear what you're saying. Like, listen, I hear what you're saying. Like, because we have a certain way that we feel about it.
Of course.
Because, like, let's just be honest, gender equality is not really gender equality. It's like,
I didn't say that.
it's not, though. Because, like, you make a good point. Because gender equality would be like, yeah, we flip this entire scenario and it'll be fine. And we both look at it and go, like, no, that's gross. That's even worse. The other way around. We're like, where is this guy? Let's find him and ostracise him out of communities. Like, that's kind of what we're doing.
He's going to
here.
lose his job.
Right. And so, like, it's for her, like, oh.
She's going through something.
She's going through something, which is not. Which is, like, if you're looking at the behavior, you're like, it's the same behavior. It's just anyway. So in this, Elise and Marcus had the affair. She lost a whole bunch of weight. She lost 120 pounds. She felt attractive again. She deepened her relationship with her children. Her marriage increased in intimacy. And she found herself donating very generously to the church. And then she went outwards and sought guidance from priests. And she's like, I just don't know what to do. And then she ended up emailing us. And so that is the recap. Okay, that's the recap. Okay, so this is her appeal response. I really don't like how this starts. It says, Dr. Giovanni. No.
She didn't even address me. She said, you. I'm coming at you.
It's just, Dr. Giovanni, no, absolutely not. You don't get to sit there behind your intellect and hand out soft-spoken verdict like you're being merciful. That judgment is cowardly. It's sanitized shame wrapped in neutrality. You of all people, the great master of contradiction and complexity. Okay, should know better. Where were you when I was dying in my own skin? Where was your scoreboard when I spent entire days hiding in my car after closing the shop, crying in silence so my kids wouldn't hear me fall apart? I wasn't sinning. I was dissolving. I was clinically depressed. I was disappearing. I was inches from giving up on everything. My body, my family, my business, my faith. But I didn't. I fought. And Marcus, he wasn't my downfall. He was my defibrillator that shocked my soul back into motion. You say I compromised. What I did was survived. What I did was fight my way back to living. I didn't just get better. I became more. I became a woman who prays, builds, who gives, who loves with force. And if your definition of righteousness makes no room for that woman, then maybe it's not righteousness, and what you're defending is your ego. Dog, I didn't even say it. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Now, Father Greg, I know you're doing your best. Oh, come on. Come on. He was so much harsher than I was. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, Father Greg, I know you're doing your best. I heard I heard the grief in your voice. I know this hurts you too, but did I really fail you? I went to confession. I wept. I meant it. I still mean it. I didn't just crawl back to the church. I ran. I prayed in every mass I attended. Even if I couldn't say the words out loud, I offered my shame up to God. I want to be right. I want to do right by him. Can't that count for something? Really? Father, was it that bad? Because from where I'm standing, I'm not asking to be told I was right. I'm asking to be seen, all of me. Not just a woman who sinned, but the woman who came back from the grave. So I'm asking you both, give me a real rating. Don't dress it up. Don't hide behind piety or strategy. You want to call me broken? Then say it. Don't pretend. So that's her appeal. That was her follow-up email appeal of like, hey, here's the thing. Here's more context. Here's whatever. Also, dog, you were so much more like, this is, and I was just like, yo, listen, this is like, you shouldn't. She lampooned me for like, what did I do? But you know what? Fine.
I mean, I was just going back into that episode and listening to how you delivered it.
I did go back before today's recording to just see how I delivered it. And you were far more aggressive than I was. Because even in that episode, we didn't do a rating because I don't even think we had the rating system back then. No, because the rating system came in afterwards. So we didn't do a rating that episode. And then like we funneled that hear me out into a discussion about relationships, and we were talking about relationships in general. So it wasn't even like, you know, ipso facto. But when I'm listening back to it, I was like, like, it was a lot of like, okay, listen, chill out with the descriptions, chill out with this, chill out with that. And also like, I don't know what you want from me. Because the banger line in that, I remember the banger line of that was like, she went to the priest and the priest was like, if you want me to co-sign.
If you want me to co-sign you cheating
No, he said, if you want me to co-sign you screwing another man. I remember that. If you want me to co-sign you screwing another man, I won't. All I can offer you is confession. There are lines in these Hear Me Outs that will live in my head rent free. That is one of those lines. And so, okay.
Or another one is Father Leon coughed so hard he had to sit down. Had a moment like that last night. It was
So okay, so we never actually gave a rating to this, and we never actually gave a rating to the story. We never ever actually gave a rating to, like, you know, whether she was bad and whether the situation, you know, hear me out. Is it bad that I don't want my employee to leave since he had a really positive impact in my life? Now, if we leave it to that question alone, what do you say? I'm going to give you runway. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking about particularly the ending of what she had. She said, I'm not looking to be almost exonerated, right?
Yeah.
To be told like, oh, you know, what I did wasn't wrong. She understands what she did was wrong.
Right.
But also, she started out her entire onslaught on you saying like, hey, you know, I was trying to survive. I was suffering in my own skin. I was trying to make it. I found a light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel just happened to be Marcus. I'm by no means condoning this entire situation, but neither is she. And that's really all I need in order to offer mercy, right? So at that same time, if I was going to go ahead and give this a rating based on where she is now and not just part one of the story, because part one of the story, I gave what I gave.
You didn't give a rating in the part one of the story.
Oh, true.
So
true.
You would have to give part one of the story and tell me what your rating changed.
Well, okay, if we're just talking about part one of the story, I would give it a 3.
Okay.
Like right in the middle.
And then now, would your rating change?
I would give it a 4.
Really?
I would give it a 4 because there's contrition there.
Okay.
Like if we're talking about confession, I need contrition in order to forgive you.
Okay.
In order to offer God's mercy to you. Right.
Okay.
So I need contrition. I need you to understand exactly what you did. From what the ending of part 2 is, she understands what she did.
Right.
She has contrition for it. She ran, not walked back to the church.
Yeah.
And also, there is no proof within part 2 that this is still going on and it's still continuing. I don't know what
she doesn't say anything about like continuation or anything like that. She just
and if we're talking about confession, I don't need a nice tiny bow at the end to know that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm fighting the urge right now to like go off on the fact that she said she has clinical depression.
I know.
And I'm just kind of like, clinical depression doesn't result in you engaging in extramarital affairs. Like that's not the same thing.
And that's why you're going to get another anger email.
That's not the same.
that right there.
But that's not even a symptom. Like, listen, if you got diagnosed with clinical depression,
You got them going.
you can't. Like, it's not even a symptom. Engage. Like, no, Sway. That's not even a symptom.
Listen, I didn't write the book.
I'm sorry.
I didn't write the book.
No, you didn't write the book. But I read the book forwards, backwards, and inside out. And this is what I do. I have to diagnose people. And if she's saying she got clinical depression, hopelessness, worthlessness does not equal, it was a snowstorm and my face was in a pillow. Like, that's not the same thing. Those two things don't work together.
But what if it was cold outside?
It doesn't matter.
Baby, it's cold outside.
If it's cold outside, it's more likely, like some of the things that she was saying kind of make sense. Like, if you're sitting in your car and you're crying, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's, okay. Is struggling to get to work, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Increased weight gain, that is a symptomology of it. But like risk taking, that's not a symptomology of depression. So like that's one of those things where it's like you engage in a lot of risk taking. So I don't think you were clinically diagnosed. I think you self-diagnosed, to be fair, based on what you've said. But if I'm going to take you at face value and be like, all right, cool. Yeah, you're clinically diagnosed, because everyone wants to be clinically diagnosed in their own right. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't change anything for me. Like, it's still the same thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, okay, cool. The question was like, is it bad that I don't want your employee to leave? No, it's not bad. You don't want your employee to leave, but you only don't want your employee to leave because you don't want your lifestyle to change.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So you still get a 2. Like, for me, it's like, you still get a 2. That's fine.
Fair enough.
That's fine. It doesn't change. So yeah, come at me on the email. I don't care.
Don't worry. They will.
She probably will.
They will.
She probably will.
It's being typed right now.
She's listening to this and go like, I can't believe. I'm like, no, you told me come direct, so I came direct. I'm like a dog. Unless you've been diagnosed, I don't know. And social workers don't count, by the way. They can't diagnose. They can't. What do you think? Do you think we got it wrong? Do you agree with the regrade? I don't know. Maybe we got it right. Hey, CatholicRiver.org/F2F. And you send us what you think. Hey, if you really want us to regrade it again, send it to us. But if you come at me again, I mean, can you be creative? Like, make me laugh while you're making fun of me, please.
I usually laugh. Like, regardless.
But hear me out. Okay, so I asked the Catholic Library Research Team if they can do me a favor, and because I like Family Feud, but I wanted to do more of like a Catholic-centric one kind of thing, like at the end where they're just like, here's a whole bunch of questions at the end, and then do your thing, whatever. I kind of want to do that. Fast money. But we can't call it Fast Money.
Nope. You can't call it Family Feud either.
No, we can say Family Feud.
Really?
That's fine.
Can you use the music?
No.
Oh, okay.
We can use royalty-free music.
Is that going to be like elevator music?
No, but we can use the old dun 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 dun.
Oh, nice.
We can use that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So that's what this segment is. It's kind of like that, and it's going to be Fast Feud, or like I don't know what to call it. I'm just going to call it
Pass the plate.
Is that what we're going to call it?
All right, let's call Pass the plate.
It's like what the community thinks. Pass the plate. All right. So this segment is called Pass the Plate. Apparently. Catholic Notebook surveyed 100 Catholics. These are the top answers per the particular things. Father Greg, we got 60 seconds on the board.
Like
All right.
boys.
It starts after my first question. Ready? Okay, go. Name something Catholics give up for Lent.
Chocolate.
Okay. Name a saint you call in the midst of crisis.
St. Anthony.
Name something that people pretend to understand in a homily.
Consubstantiation.
Okay. Name something that happens at every Catholic wedding.
Throwing rice.
Name a phrase that Catholics say to sound holy when they aren't fooling anybody.
Offered up.
Okay, that's it. You ready? Oh, that's 30 seconds. Good for you. Good for you. All right. So, name something that Catholics give up for Lent. You said chocolate. Survey says chocolate.
Hey.
47.
Hey.
Yeah. Number 2 was social media. And number 3 was coffee. And number 4 was swearing. And number 5, their significant other.
Oh, what?
That's what it says. I don't know.
That's not my suggestion. Don't do that.
Well, I'm assuming it's like, because it doesn't say spouse. It's like boyfriend, girlfriend type of thing. All right. Name a saint that you call on the midst of crisis. You said St. Anthony. That is the number 2 answer.
Oh.
The number 1 answer is St. Jude.
Oh, hopeless causes.
Yeah. Number 3 is St. Michael. Number 4 is St. Rita. And number 5 is St. Dithyma for mental breakdowns. I don't know. It had 6. Difna, maybe?
I think it's Difna.
Difna? Yeah, mental breakdowns. Anyway, yours had 29. St. Jude had 34. Name something that people understand, pretend to understand in homilies. I don't know what you said.
I said theology.
Theology, but nah, that's not it.
Or
Greek,
consubstantiation. That was the
second. Yeah, you said consubstantiation. That wasn't even on the board. Number 1 was the Greek epithema. Number 1 was the Eucharist. 30. Number 2 was Vatican II references. Number 3 was the priest's personal story. Number 4, a Latin quote that the priest didn't translate. And number 5, the Book of Revelation. Name something that every Catholic does in weddings. You said throw rice.
Yeah, that wasn't a good answer.
Yeah. Number 1 at 32 was forget to kneel. Number 2, relative complains about how long it is.
Oh.
Yeah. Ave Maria, the solo being sung, which is at 20. The Unity Candle.
That's an optional thing.
Yeah, but it's at every Catholic wedding. Almost every Catholic wedding I've seen, there's a Unity Candle. The priest makes... this one is kind of interesting. Out of the 100 Catholics that were surveyed, 10 of them said the priest makes it about his vocation.
Ooh. This is my moment.
All right. Name a Catholic phrase that may sound holy, but you're not fooling anybody. I'll pray for you is number 1. Let's discern this. Number 2 for 22. I'm fasting from this drama. I'm not gossip. It's not gossip. It's a concern.
Oh, that's spicy.
It's not gossip. It's a concern.
Ouch.
And that's 14 people. And then 10 people threw down and said, I have a heart for ministry.
This feels really jaded. Jeez.
Because it sounds holy, but it isn't. So Father Greg, you really only got 2. You only got 2. You tried. You tried. Maybe next time. And we get this. What do we call this segment?
Pass the plate.
Pass the plate. Woo! That was a good episode, man. Mm-hmm. All right. For all of us at Spirit String Studios, we love you. You're very special.
Go forth and bear good fruit.
And make sure you wipe your shoes on your way in the house. Your mama don't need all that.
All right, Mr. Rogers. It was a G, by the way.
Have you seen the documentary?
Yes, I did actually.
That's another episode.
Father to Father is a production of Spirit Stream Studios. All rights reserved.